Throughout Jackie Kennedy Onassis's life, she was strongly influenced by the people around her. From the way she acted as the First Lady of the United States to her husband, John F. Kennedy, to the way she grieved after her husband's assassination in 1963, she drew on others to help her get through the hard times. When she was the First Lady, she and her husband had a large circle of friends, political or personal, and after John F. Kennedy's death, that circle shrunk. We must first start to understand the reasons of why she truly isolated herself to understand the types of relationships that she created, kept, or culled. John F. Kennedy and John Sherman Cooper were longtime friends before and during when John F. Kennedy was a president, even though they belonged to different political parties.
This image shows John Sherman Cooper and John F. Kennedy both during their time as senators having a pleasant conversation. The Coopers and Kennedys had what was to be described as a bipartisan friendship, which is defined as a relationship in which the involving members of two opposite political parties come to an agreement despite opposing each other's policies. They continued to be friends even after John Fitzgerald Kennedy's success as president, even having dinner together the first night of the presidential inauguration in 1961. In a 1990 interview with Terry Birdwhistle, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis states, "To show you what good friends we were, think I'm right in this. The first dinner party we went to after we were in the White House was at the Coopers." She also stated, "Well, they were just our beloved friends. We've made the date before. I think it was for some dance or something in Washington. That was sort of an occasion. We didn't go to the dance, but went to the Coopers for dinner."
Jackie Kennedy was very involved in the political relationships between the president and others, including the vice president and his wife at the time.
The political and personal relationship between the families were very solid. After the assassination, Lady Bird met up with Jackie in the hospital and comforted her through the night. Quote, "Suddenly I found myself face to face with Jackie in a small hallway. You think of someone like her being insulated, protected. She was quite alone. I don't think I ever saw someone so alone in my life. I went up to her, put my arms around her, and said something to her. I'm sure it was something like, 'God help us all,' because my feelings for her were too much to put into words." This image demonstrates the political relationship that the Kennedys had with the Johnsons. Jackie Kennedy is wearing the infamous pink Chanel dress, which she would wear for days while it was covered in her husband's blood. It is hours before the infamous assassination. This photo of John F. Kennedy, Jackie Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson, and Lady Bird Johnson was taken at the Kennedys' arrival in Texas. Lady Bird and Jackie were especially close with each other. You can tell in this photo that they enjoy each other's company and are comfortable together. A president and vice president need to have a lot of trust with each other and need to have a good relationship in order to successfully run a country.
Caroline Kennedy helped establish a lasting legacy for her mother and father being involved in politics as well as being an ambassador to Japan. The podcast in which Terry Birdwhistle interviews Jackie Kennedy Onassis contributes to her legacy. They introduce her for a while in the podcast before even featuring the interview and speak on her importance. Also, to be included in the Wisdom Project by the Nunn Center shows how important she was and how she is still relevant today. This image reflects the legacy of Jackie Kennedy Onassis very well. She had a very large influence on the world and it affected many lives. Her daughter, Caroline Kennedy, is seen giving the Profile and Courage Award to Barack Obama. This exemplifies Jackie Kennedy's legacy in that her success motivated Caroline to be in such a successful position as she is in the image, and it shows her sphere of influence.
My name is Kiana Wilson, and I am doing an interview for Mr. West's Word 110 class. I'm here with our interviewee. Would you mind introducing yourself?
I'm Sierra Turner Branch, and I'm a freshman at the University of Kentucky.
Okay, thank you. All right, so Sierra, I have a few questions for you concerning Jackie O, if you don't mind. First question is, what comes to mind when you hear Jackie O?
When I hear Jackie O's name, I think of the wife of JFK, a feminist and a very strong-willed person.
Okay, thank you. Can you think of any way Jackie O has affected you personally?
I think her being strong-willed affected me. It made me realize that if I wanted something, I would have to go out and get it.
What would you consider Jackie O's greatest accomplishment?
I think one of her greatest accomplishments was traveling to Cambodia with her husband to help improve the relationships between the U.S. and Cambodia.
What are your thoughts on Jackie O's private tendencies in the relationships around her?
I believe that what she had her own right to control who was around her and what she decided to do in her private life.
Do you know of any way Jackie O has left her mark on Kentucky? If so, what is it?
As far as the state of Kentucky, I'm not sure, but as a nation, I know she had a great impact on feminism. It helped bring awareness to the entire nation.
Thank you.
So first question was, how was it to meet and speak with Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis herself?
Well, it was, for a 30-year-old young man, it was very nerve-wracking. She probably saw my hands shaking, and it was an interview that, even though I had got word that she would do it, when I went to New York, I assumed the entire time that it would probably be postponed or canceled, that just something would come up, and but it happened, and I guess it's funny, before you called, I was talking to somebody in Washington, and we were talking about that, and when I went up on the elevator in her apartment building, I guess they call them apartment buildings for people like that, I don't know, she lived on the top floor, and when the elevator opened into her home, she was standing there, and I think what helped me, kind of get through it was the fact that she was so pleasant, and really just, very nice person, very warm and welcoming, and so, by that time I had done quite a number of interviews, I don't know, a couple of hundred probably, and so her being so normal just made it, in many ways, seem like another interview.
All right. Our second question is, what were your thoughts on the relationship between the Kennedys and the Coopers, seeing as Jackie went outside of her comfort zone to do an interview regarding them? Would you say they were fairly close?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's why she did the interview. She just didn't do interviews at that point, and that's why she did the interview. And so I knew that they had a close relationship after Kennedy was elected, but before he was inaugurated. The first home they went to for dinner was at the Coopers, at John and Lorraine Cooper's house in Georgetown there in D.C. And so I knew they had a close relationship, but it was, have you listened to the interview or read it? Have you listened to it?
Yes, sir, I have.
Well, isn't it amazing how she talks about him? And to that point, I had never heard anybody outside of Pulaski County, where he was county judge, refer to him as Judge Cooper. And, she so affectionately called him Judge Cooper and talked about characteristics that he had that made her appreciate him so much and admire him. And of course, John Sherman Cooper and Jack Kennedy were very close friends. They had a lot of the same interests. And I thought that toward the end, when she talks about the Warren Commission and how appreciative she was to have John Sherman Cooper on the Warren Commission, so I guess one of the things that surprised me was how personal the relationship was, and not just that Jack Kennedy and John Cooper were friends, but how much she appreciated John Sherman Cooper's friendship herself.
Okay. Thank you. Our next question is, Jackie Kennedy was among one of the most well-known first ladies ever. Why do you think this was?
I think whether Jacqueline Kennedy had become First Lady or had become any number of things, she would have been very successful and probably well known. I think, being a First Lady at a sort of a transitional time in our country, that the Kennedys were so young, relatively speaking, when they went into the White House. everybody's grandparents, you know, in not a bad way, but I mean, they were just old. I can remember as a kid thinking, man, they're old, you know, and I'll never forget, again, I was only 10 when the Kennedys when Kennedy was elected, but I remember sitting in front of a black and white television set watching him and just amazed that this guy was president. And, I mean, you know, in his early 40s, you know, not just Teddy Roosevelt. And I think that had that young couple in the White House, their children, you know, they lost their child during that time. And, you know, she did the famous White House tour, and she traveled around the world. She spoke different languages. Women across the country emulated her style, you know, her pillbox hats and all that stuff. So it was just a cultural phenomenon in a way, you know, that you see, you know, in other, somewhat more in the entertainment side of the world, like that, you know, culture. So I think that's, and then, of course, after Kennedy was killed, martyred, and, you know, she was a young mother, all, you know, all the things that that said to her.
Let's see. What would you consider to be one of Jackie O's greatest accomplishments?
I guess getting through all the things that she had to face, you know, stabilizing her life, continuing a career in publishing, sort of just being Jackie Kennedy when it was very hard to be.
Can you think of any lasting effects the Kennedys, and specifically Jackie O, had on Kentucky?
You know, it's interesting. Are you from Kentucky?
No, sir, I am not.
Well, how long have you been here?
Around 5-6 years.
Okay. Well, Kentucky's a strange place when it comes to politics. And so I think one of the things that I would say is that, you know, because Kennedy was Catholic, you know, there's a lot of suspicion about him here in Kentucky in 1960. And so I think that also that my guess is that there were a lot of Kentuckians who were suspicious of Jackie Kennedy, you know, because she came from wealth and boarding schools and spoke French, you know, and things like that. So I think there was like so many things that Kentuckians do, I think they admired her on one way and was suspicious in another. Does that make sense to you? You know, in Kentucky now?
Oh, excuse me, sorry.
I'm not Kentucky in politics, so.
Alright, we have one more question for you and then we're all done.
Okay.
If you could go back and change anything about your interview experience with Jackie, what would it be?
Well, change anything. I would just try to do a better job. You know, I'm not dissatisfied with the way it turned out, but in doing oral history, as you know, in doing this interview, you've been very well prepared, and I appreciate that. And you've asked very good questions, and so I would just, if I had a chance to go back and have a do-over, I would just make sure that, you know, I was as prepared as I could be and had the questions worked out as well as I could, and you know, if I could have interviewed her later in my career, I might not have been quite as nervous. And you know, I had a problem with the equipment when we first started the interview. Did you know that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that was a real problem. and I thought, this could not happen. This could not happen to me, you know. And fortunately, it was just earpiece that I was using to monitor what was actually being recorded. And so you probably know all this, but that was one thing I wish it hadn't happened. So it was a good experience. It was a good experience, and I hope people find it useful for years to come.
All right. Well, that was all. Thank you, Dr. Bird Whistle, for answering these questions.